Sorry about the scuff. Alright. Different seed, so this should be correct, I think. I think I just loaded the seed that I used to make sure that the emulator was working and everything. Oh. No. Back. Back. Delete. Delete. We don't want it. There we go. Bran. There we go. So, check this out. I'm in the game! I added a custom sprite, so I am in A Link to the Past. I made this custom sprite, and here I am, and I think that's really cool. Which are the buttons? So we can start by lifting these pots. And yeah, I think that's really cool. It took me a few hours to do the custom sprite. I did it myself, so it's maybe a little janky. I'm not a sprite artist, but I think I got a decent replication going, so pretty happy with it overall. And we're going to open this chest and get our first random item to start with. What do we get? A heart piece. That is literally useless for us right now. So we have no weapon. So we're swinging at the air. We have no weapon to attack with. We have no items. We have one heart piece and the basic starting tunic. That's it. So we have like no armor upgrades or anything. And we've got to go around the overworld. Look at this overworld. It's pretty large considering this was a Super Nintendo game. We've got to go all over the place and look for items to help us progress through the game and complete the dungeons. But all the items are who knows where. They're all over the place, and it's going to be a little wacky, and it's going to be fun. I actually know this game really well. There is a spoiler log, but I have not looked at it, of course, because that defeats the point of it. But it's just there so that if we get completely stuck, we can use the spoiler log to find where the items are and get unstuck. But hopefully we don't need to use that because I do know this game really well. If you asked me which Zelda game I know the best, this is it. And there's this entire world to explore, so let's oh yeah, there's a zoomed out version. Let's go look for items. So there's some easy locations we can check early on. This cave we could check, but we don't have bombs for it, unfortunately, so we can't really get in there yet. But yeah, I know this game fairly well, which is why I wanted it to be my first randomizer. So this was not my first Zelda game, but the first one that I owned. So I played it a ton. And Morph, you weren't ever like into Zelda, right? That wasn't one of the series you were super familiar with, correct? And we're gonna open this chest. 50 rupees, which is rupees are the money, so that's just $50, which could be helpful in a bit, but not as helpful as getting an actual item. Never played a Zelda game, yeah. I thought you mentioned that, but yeah, they're like kind of puzzly adventure games. There's combat as well, but I was always more into the puzzle aspect. And yeah, just a series that I grew up with, so I know most of them actually pretty well. But A Link to the Past is the one that I know the most because it's on the simpler side. It's easy to do runs. You can go through it fairly quickly. If we really wanted to, we could put the speedrun timer up, but since it's my first randomizer, I didn't think that was really worth it. But maybe in the future. Okay, so we drained the water from this little lake, and all that was in here was a rupee. Normally that's a heart piece, so again, not very helpful. We can't go up this way because that boulder is blocking the path. This giant boulder, we have no way of moving it right now. But in the future, we can lift that and get it out of the way. And we're going to move up here. We're going to head to Kakariko Village because so far our item luck has not been super good, so we don't have a ton of locations we can explore. Oop. And I am already dying. No weapon, no health upgrades, no armor upgrades. It's kind of bad. Also, I was never that great at the combat aspect of Zelda. Definitely more on the puzzle and exploration side. So I tend to take a lot of damage anyway. I play a little recklessly, but that's okay. There's no huge consequence for dying in this game. You just kind of go back to... you get like sent back to the start of dungeons or sent back to the starting location, which can be annoying, but it's not like a huge deal at the end of the day. You don't like lose items or anything. It's not like Pokemon Nuzlocke where like you have to release anything or you lose any progress really. Just minor setbacks. So over here, we can't actually reach this item, but we can check what it is for later so we know if it's worth our time to come back. Oh, there is a sword. That's the first sword upgrade. Well, it's a sword upgrade. If you get the sword, it goes in like levels. So like the first sword you find will always be level 1, then level 2, then level 3. That is a sword upgrade. So currently, since we have no sword, it would be level 1. But if we came back with level 1 sword, it would turn into like level 2 sword. But that is very important. We have to come back when we have bombs. Because it's really funny, actually. Hold on. Let's actually go in. Again, this isn't a speed run or anything, so we can take time and explain things since you aren't familiar with the game. Basically, this guy and the guy in the next room are brothers, and they had an argument. So this guy, the older brother, blocked the door, and so his younger brother is trapped and can't get out. So we have to get bombs to blow up, open the wall, and let his brother free. So we can't get through there yet, but once we do, we can get the sword. And bombs aren't that hard to find, I don't think, so it shouldn't be too hard. This is just a heart container. You collect 4 of them, or a heart piece. You collect 4 and it makes a heart container, which gives you an extra heart. So that's what our starting item was. It's not helpful on its own, but when you collect 4 of them, it can be helpful. Health isn't the most important, but it is still nice to have. So it's still good to come back here when we have access to those. But it's not a huge deal that it's like, oh, there's a super important item we're missing right now. So let's check back here in the back of the bar. There is a chest with another heart piece, so that puts us at 2. If we collect 2 more, we'll have a heart container and have more health. I forget, can we just buy bombs? Yeah. There we go. Alright, we got bombs. Nice. So we can go back and let the boy free. Free my boy. He did nothing wrong. But first, I'm gonna explore the rest of Kakariko Village. So, let me see. I don't know what the buttons are set to. There we go. There's bombs. Drop a bomb and blow open that wall. So we can come in here. Okay, yeah, there's no chest in here. This is just like a refuel spot, so we can collect some rupees, collect some bombs. Not super important. Yeah, I remember where a lot of the secrets are, but some of them I don't remember if they have chests or not. And the chests are important since those are where we get most of our items. Alright, let's come up here, and we drop down into here, and that'll put us in this cave. And there's a bunch of chests in here. 10 arrows. Literally can't use those because we don't have a bow. Bomb that wall. There's a heart container. That was a full heart container from like a boss or something. So that gives us an extra health tick. So we have more damage that we can take now. Kind of helpful, but again, not the most important thing. But it is nice because I just play recklessly. And another heart piece. So we're at 3 of 4. More bombs. And another heart container. Okay. Just lots of health. I'm full of love. It's my love for this game shining through, I guess. Alright, so... No, this is not the room I was looking for. It's the next house. Over here. Yeah, this little grass hut looking thing. I'll beat the enemies by living longer than them? Yes. I'll win by just having better healthcare. It's a cultural victory. Alright, this is a puzzle that I always mess up. There's a way to get all these chests in one go, but I never remember what it is. Hold on. Let me think. Was it this? There we go, I got them all in one go. So, we get 4 more chests, let's check. Moon's Pearl! Ooh, that's really important. That will help us later because there are things that can transform you, and they turn Link into a bunny rabbit, which is actually really funny. But the Moon Pearl protects you from that. I know being a bunny rabbit sounds cool, but when you're a rabbit, you can't attack or use items, so it's bad. So the Moon's Pearl will protect us from most of those, and will keep us safe. And we got another heart piece, so that is a full extra heart container. So we are at 6 hearts, quite healthy. Like me right now. Yeah, more or less. Oh, we got the hook shot! Oh, that's an awesome item to get early on. The hook shot is perhaps the most iconic Zelda item. How do I close the menu? There we go. Yeah, so it shoots a chain with a hook on it, and it pulls us over to different blocks. We can use it to basically maneuver. Think Zipcaster from Splatoon, actually, is a very good example, or a good comparison. It's like Zipcaster, and it can also hit enemies, and I think it stuns them. I don't think it does damage to them in this game. It changes based on which game you're playing. Sometimes the hookshot does damage, sometimes it only stuns enemies. Actually, you know what? I think it does do minor damage to enemies, but it's not a lot. So I think you can defeat enemies with the hookshot, but it's not a whole lot. You need a bunch of hits for it. Oh, and we got a jar with a bee in it. So we can use a bee to attack our enemies, which is pretty cool. It's not very good, but the more important thing is the jar can hold other things like medicines and fairies, which will help us later on because I play poorly. And we're gonna come in here and get this last chest. 10 bombs, okay. And we almost have 100 rupees. If we get 100 rupees, we can buy another item, so that'll be good. So, actually, despite kind of a lot of our items being junk, like rupees and heart pieces, we're actually off to a pretty good start just because the hook shot early on is so powerful, and then the Moon Pearl opens up a lot of locations for us. Alright, so real quick, this is a soldier. We can't kill him. Okay, no. In this game, it only stuns, I guess. Leave me alone, leave me alone, leave me alone. I can't defend myself. Those are Hyrule Castle guards who have been hypnotized by the wizard to attack us. So that's why the guards are attacking. They're just on patrol and they see us and they're like, "Hey, you're the criminal who kidnapped the princess. Get him!" And we didn't actually kidnap the princess, but they're hypnotized. And that guy's a thief who runs into you and tries to steal your items. Not cool. We are in the Lost Woods, an iconic Zelda location. I came to look for the mushroom, and the mushroom was turned into $20, so not great. That's okay. We'll open this and drop down. Oh, and another heart piece. That's actually supposed to be a heart piece, so that's just what we're actually supposed to get there. A little boring, but, you know, it happens sometimes. Okay, so I think the next best option would be to go back and grab the sword upgrade. I probably should have done that first, but since we were already by the Lost Woods, I decided to just grab that real quick, in case it was something really important and helpful. It was not, sadly. I'm trying to think if there's any other checks in this town that we can do. There are, but we need money. Alright, let me think. You can get money by lifting grass. Kind of slow, but it works. Alright, 3 more rupees, and then we can buy the item, which will be good before we leave. Heart, also helpful. Ah, give us 2 rupees. There we go, 1. Deforestation for $2. That's capitalism, baby. Oh, come on. Oh, it's normally not this hard to find money. This is some bad RNG. Normally, I feel like I'd have, like, tons of money by this point. Also, that's a bee. He will attack us. I need to despawn him. Alright, come on. Rupees, rupees, rupees. Oh, come on. What is this? Like, seriously, normally, in a normal run, at this point, by the time I reach the village, I usually have, like, 150 to 200 rupees. It's not that hard to get money in this game. There we go, 100. So, now, we can come up here. I'm pretty sure I've gotten all the checks that we can do in the town right now, besides this one. Actually, you know what? There might be one in here. The silly chicken can commit murder. It is indeed true. The chickens will attack you if you beat them up enough. That is a Zelda series tradition. Alright, so here's another chest. Let's grab this real quick. 10 arrows. Useless. We don't have a bow to shoot the arrows with, unfortunately. Otherwise, I actually do use the bow more than most people, I think. The bow is my favorite Zelda item, and so it's the one I rely on the most in most games. Alright, that was a ripoff. This guy sells you an item for 100 rupees, and the item was 50 rupees, so we just gave that man $50 for no reason. Scammed. We got scammed. That's okay. So let's go grab our sword, and then we have bombs, so we could check... We could check a few different locations thanks to bombs. We can't do Dungeon 1 because we don't have the bow. We can go in Dungeon 1, but we can't complete it. And we can't even go into Dungeon 2. I think we can't reach Dungeon 3 without the glove. Alright, so we have to clear this race in 15 seconds or less to get the prize. But it's not too hard. We come up here, and we take a shortcut by jumping over this fence, and we cleared it in 11 seconds. So we get this trash, as the guy so eloquently put it, and this trash is the sword. So now we can actually attack and defend ourselves, which is nice. So let me think. Yeah, there are a few locations we could check. We could check Hyrule Castle. That might be the next best place to go. Take out that guard, steal his heart, and heal ourselves. Stun him with the hook shot. Down he goes. There we go. Alright. Yeah, I think the next best location to hit is Hyrule Castle, which is where you're actually supposed to go first in the story, but I didn't want to go there because there are enemies, and we didn't have a way to defend ourselves. So that was like my last resort location to check. But yeah, the correct order of events is we're supposed to come up to Hyrule Castle, go this way, past these scary spear guys, and we're supposed to come up here to this garden and take the secret path hidden in this bush. And here, we will find Link's dying uncle. That is our uncle who is dead. He gave us our allowance of $20, and then he died. So that's not a helpful item, but there's a chest over here. $20 more. Okay, this is where all my money was that I didn't have for the item that we needed, apparently. Rip. Thank you, Uncle, for the $20. Yeah. Really generous of him to remember, like, he's like, oh, Link, I'm dying, but I forgot your allowance. Here's $20. And then he dies. R.I.P. Uncle. Gone and usually forgotten. But there's more stuff we can do here in the castle. So we're gonna go head down to the dungeon. And, ooh, it might be dark in the second half of the castle, which could be a pain to navigate, so it might not be worth trying to do the whole Hyrule Castle escape sequence. But normally we're supposed to come down to the dungeon and rescue Princess Zelda. Oh, we got the glove! Okay, that's awesome. That opens up a lot of locations for us, because now we can lift heavy items. We can lift heavy rocks that are in the way. Get out of here. Push that guy off into the abyss. I don't know what's going on with this castle. They, like, built it over, like, a giant gaping hole in the ground. And so, you can just push the guards off to their death. If only they were angels, they'd be able to fly with their wings and save themselves, but nope. No luck for them. So we're gonna come up here. Oh yeah, we couldn't have even gotten through here without a weapon. So we would have only gotten $40 and then we wouldn't have been able to proceed. But we can take out these guys. Yeah, this run... Oh, the magic cape. Not super helpful, but it's a nifty item. So, this seed actually, like, even though we've gotten a lot of money and heart pieces and, like, arrows, we actually have, like, decent starting items for this early on in the game. So I would say this is actually, like, a really good randomization so far. At least until we find that the bow has been locked behind, like, the last dungeon in the game and we have a hard time progressing. But for now, we're off to a really good start early on. This is a iconic Zelda song as well, the Hyrule Castle March. It's used in most games after this point. Oh, I forgot I'm not on my bombs. Oh, I should explain what the magic cape does. Basically, we don't have magic power right now, but that bar next to my item, which I think... no, I can't pull. But next to my hookshot icon, there's that black bar. That will get filled with magic power, which is green. And we can use magic power to use magic items. And the magic cape lets us turn invisible and walk through certain obstacles and ignore damage from enemies. So it's really good if you're bad at playing like me, because it keeps you invincible. I think the magic cape you can't attack while using it though, so you can't use it to cheese like all enemies. But it is still really helpful to have, even if it's not like super necessary. And we're gonna open this chest, and $20, okay. So we could try and do the Hyrule Castle escape sequence, but again, it's like dark, so I don't know if it's worth it. I'm gonna save and quit. And load the game again. And that will let us start back outside the dungeon. We're gonna start at the sanctuary this time instead of our house, because the sanctuary also has a chest. This is where you reach after going through Hyrule Castle. You end up here at the sanctuary and you open this chest. Normally it's a heart container. Instead it's the Hyrule Castle map, which is useless. We can also talk to this guy and heal our hearts. He's the priest, and that's Princess Zelda, who we rescued. But because we took her from the dungeon, the evil wizard hypnotized the guards and said, hey, they kidnapped the princess, even though we rescued her and she was being held captive. So we can now lift these green rocks, the light green ones. The dark green ones are too heavy for us to lift, but because we have the glove, we can now lift these light green rocks, which is really helpful. It opens up the path to go up here to Dungeon 3, where that crystal is. And to beat the game, we have to collect crystals to open the final dungeon. There are also other requirements, like we need the silver arrows, but the main, like the bare minimum requirement is all the crystals and the silver arrows. But unique to this randomizer is you can change the number of crystals you have to get, and I think I set it to random, so we need a random number of crystals to beat the game. It's 1 through 7. I don't know how many it is, but you can tell which ones are required because they're red, I think. So this red one is a required crystal. We have to beat this dungeon to beat the game. There we go. So let's keep pushing through here. This is the graveyard. All these tombs where the dead rest, we're going to desecrate. We're going to move these rocks and push this grave out of the way and drop down. And this drops us into the passage from Hyrule Castle. And this is what we would normally pass through here on the way to the sanctuary, but we wouldn't have bombs, so we wouldn't be able to open these doors, so we'd have to come back. Instead, we're going to come back through here and use the bombs to open this wall and get 3 more chests. A key for Hyrule Castle. The lantern, awesome pickup actually. That lets us see in the dark. And the red rupee. So now, we're actually more or less ready to do the first dungeon. I do want to check a few more locations first, but that is very good. That's very helpful. That'll let us climb the mountain because the mountain is dark and it has a boulder in the way. So you need the glove, and you need to either have the entire mountain map memorized or have the lantern. I probably could get through the mountain in the dark, but it's a lot easier with the lantern, and it'll be more visually interesting than watching me fumble in the dark. So just a few more items I want to check before we head that way, though. I'm going to bomb this wall. I don't think there's anything here right now. Yeah, this is just a fairy which will heal us. Well done. Let us have a cup of tea. That is a custom text. That is not what she actually says in the main game, but the fairy heals our wounds, and now we are good to go. Get used to seeing fairies because I play badly, as evidenced by me walking out of the cave and immediately getting shot in the face by an arrow. So, getting healed is really helpful. Oh, shoot, I forgot I don't have a shield. Normally you can block the rocks those Octoroks spit at you with a shield, but I don't have one, so we just ate 2 rocks to the face, which is not great. I'm gonna blow this open. And I'm gonna come through here. Ooh. Oh wait, I do have the sword, right. Alright, so we have to kill these guys to open the cave. There we go, walk across. Oh shoot, I died. Like I said, combat not my forte in this game. So I have to start back at the house, unfortunately. Yeah, it's not a huge penalty for dying, but it is a little annoying. So I have to walk all the way back there. It won't take too long, though. I'm going to stop by and heal, though, because as I just proved, I'm not very good at combat. Heal up. Alright, so let's try that again and not die this time. I actually can just take out those, the Moldorms with bombs. Actually, are those Moldorms? Moldorm might be the big version only. I think these guys might be called something else. But they're basically tiny versions of a boss called Moldorm. So I'm gonna pick up the bomb and throw it over. I missed. Oh, shoot. Yeah, that's bad. I'm just gonna walk across and kill them. I've seen a lot of people not know that you can walk across these gaps if you do it right. You gotta just hug the wall and you can walk across. Come back. There we go. Took him out. And now we can come through here and collect these items. 4 more chests. This is why I wanted to stop here before going to the dungeon. Let's see. $300. Very helpful, except there's not a whole lot we need money for in this game. It's nice to buy potions, which we can do with our bottle, actually, so I guess that is kind of helpful. A heart container, helpful because I'm bad. $20 more, and another heart container. I'm full of love. Lovely boy. And here's something I see a lot of people miss on their first playthrough of the randomizer, because I've watched a fair number of people play this as well, just because I find it really fun and interesting. They forget that you can talk to this thief, and he gives you an item. And because, like, a lot of the text was turned into, like, just nonsense, they don't bother talking to people. I will outlive everyone in Hyrule. Correct. I will, at the end of everything, only I will remain, and then I will crown myself the new king of Hyrule. So, yeah, they forget to talk to this guy, and he has an item for you. Another heart piece. How many do we have? 2. Okay. So, yeah, I really am just going to be a very long-lived boy. A long and healthy life ahead of me. Over here we have Lake Hylia, which we can't swim in because I don't have the flippers. You cannot swim without the flippers, which is a little unfortunate. Getting that early would also open up a few more areas to check, but it's not too big of a deal. It's not like there's anything this early on that, like, is super vital normally, unless, like, if our sword was locked behind swimming for some reason. That would be bad, but see, if I drop in the lake, I just respawn at the shore. No swimming ability. So we're gonna blow... Oh! We blew open this wall, and there was a guard hiding in the grass, so... Sometimes you remove the grass, and there's just an enemy inside. Took him out, and we're gonna come up here and check here. Normally, this is where you get the ice rod. Instead, it is... bombs. Okay. You need bombs to get the bombs now, apparently. Kind of a useless pickup, but, you know. You know. You know. Pop this open. And we're just going to grab a fairy to heal us. If I had the bug catching net, I could capture the fairy and put it in my bottle. But since we don't have the net, we can't do anything with it right now. Also, I didn't mean to select the magic cape, it just kind of did happen. I'm going to lift this rock. Bam! Look how strong I am. I am the strongest little twink you'll ever see. That's the benefit of being healthy, I guess. I can lift those. And this thief is another one who has something to give you, I think. Oh, no. This one's not. It's a different guy who I was thinking of. Okay, so that guy doesn't have anything for us. It would be faster to save and quit. Yeah, saving and quitting isn't, like, the most exciting way to go about it, but it is faster than walking everywhere. It does let us just kind of jump around and hit more locations quicker. And sometimes you'll cut the grass and there'll just be a fairy hiding inside. Heal me, fairy! Heal me! No, don't fly away! She flew away. Unfortunate. I wanted the fairy to heal us with her healing touch and lovely magic, but alas. Alright, so we'll come down this way and check the desert, and then I want to check Sarashala and get the potion, and then we'll probably head up the mountain unless we find something else exciting. Oh wait, no, this guy, we can't do anything with him yet. He won't talk to us. We can come down here and lift this boulder. Bam! So swole. I think this is the guy who you talk to. No, never mind. I'm thinking of someone completely different, I guess. I thought that guy gave you something. This is just a fairy, I think. Yes, okay. So heal ourselves up, and then we'll go through the desert. Yeah, the Zelda overworld theme is also very iconic. Been used in most games in some form or fashion, often remixed in some way. But I never get tired of it. This ledge is important for later, but we can't reach it right now. That heart piece was turned into $20, which means it's useless. And this is the entrance to the second dungeon, but we can't get through here without the Book of Medora, which lets us read Ancient Hylian. Basically, it's just Google Translate. That stone tablet is important for later, but we can't reach it right now without the magic mirror. Ooh, actually, hold on. We can't get through Dungeon 3 without the magic mirror yet, actually. Well, it's not that we can't get through the dungeon, it's that we can't enter the dungeon without the mirror. So that's something to keep in mind. We'll probably find the mirror soon. So actually, with that in mind, I'm glad I didn't rush to the dungeon right away, because we can't do anything yet. We'll blow open that wall and check in here for a chest. Heart piece, okay. Yeah, we need to find the magic mirror. And this guy had a fish dinner that he still remembers to this day. It must have been really good. He had a delicious salmon dinner, and it was so good that he will never forget it. And that salmon's name was Big Shot. Alright. Let's see. Yeah, let's hit up Sarashala's cave. And then... where do we want to go after Sarashala? Probably the witch's hut to buy potions. Normally, I don't like to go to the witch's hut until I have the mushroom to trade in. But since we don't have the mushroom, it's not that big of a deal if we just hit that up first. And if we don't find the magic mirror soon, we could start Dungeon 1, actually. I don't like starting dungeons and not completing them, but since it's a randomizer, I kind of don't have a choice in that matter. As a kid, I always got scared of, like, I don't know what it was. I'd enter a dungeon in Zelda and I'd be fine. But if I had to go back in the dungeon after completing it for some reason, it made me, like, really uneasy. Like, it was way more scary than the first time through the dungeon. I was, like, terrified of dungeons as a kid, like, going back into them. So, young Brandon would have been terrified of the randomizer. Although a randomizer is basically... there wasn't a term for it when I was a kid, but, like, a randomizer is basically what I always wanted out of Zelda. So this is just, like, so cool. We'll talk to Sarashala. He says, want something for free? Go earn the green pendant in Skull Woods. Okay, so we have to go to Skull Woods to get the green pendant, which we cannot access right now because we don't have the mirror. So that's good to know where it is, though. Skull Woods is one of the more annoying dungeons, so it'd be nice if we don't have to do that and the green pendant isn't required. I don't think currently that it would be, but it might have something important locked behind it. Anyway, we got 3 more chests. The bow! Oh, okay. We're in really good shape now. The bow is so good. And arrows to go with the bow. And one single dollar. $1. Sorry, Sarashala, took your stuff. Took his prized bow. Yeah, so the bow, you won't believe this, but the bow, it shoots arrows. Revolutionary, really. But it gives us a way to take out enemies at long range, and it's required to beat the first dungeon. So having the bow early on is actually huge, because we're actually right next to the first dungeon, so we can just go do that right now, so. Haha, $1! Yes, $1 single dollar. So yeah, since we're right by the first dungeon, we're gonna do that first, actually. We're gonna change our plans. That's one of the important things for randomizers, is being able to just change your plans on the fly. I've seen a lot of people get tunnel visioned, and they have an idea in mind and they just keep pursuing that, and that makes them forget other options they have. it's important to keep your mind open to other possibilities. And so this is the first dungeon in the game. This is where you're actually supposed to go first, so funny that we are doing it first. And we just have to get through here. This way is dead end, can't go through there. What about the right side? Of course I already know what's going on here, so, you know, I'm just showing. Oh, what do you know, dead end as well. Oh no, how do we progress? So this is kind of just teaching you lift pots and look for switches sometimes. Open that door, and now we can advance forward. Very simple puzzle, but, you know, it's for beginners. This is the first dungeon. And this slightly odd tile over here is the switch for that door. Opens and closes it. And we take out the wormy boys. Those guys are squiggly little wormy boys, and they always looked kind of gross as a kid. We're gonna come down here. I don't know why, as a kid, I had a hard time with this room the first time I entered here. It's just a bunch of cannonballs being shot at us. It's not that difficult to maneuver. You kind of just have to duck into the alcoves. I think I just wasn't patient enough as a kid. We go through there, and here's a chest that a lot of people miss. They just forget this because in the normal game, it's just the compass, which is useless if you already know where you're going, but here, it could be something important. The big key. That is the key to open the boss's door, so we do need that. Glad I checked. We're gonna come up here. And that's the chest, or that's the door that lets us progress. But we don't actually want to go there first. Gonna open this door. And come up here. Yeah, this seed is actually, like, incredibly good. If we were speedrunning, people would be, like, spamming, like, baby seed. Like, this is a seed for babies. But, like, for a first randomizer, this is actually, like, really lucky to get a seed that's this forgiving. It's not giving us a lot of issues with progressing, which is really good for showcasing and getting familiar with the randomizer. So, this chest has the boomerang, which we are actually supposed to have already. That is the item from Hyrule Castle's dungeon. So we're actually supposed to have the boomerang already. A lot of people love the boomerang. A lot of people have, like, the boomerang as one of their favorite items. I've never been especially big on it because I feel like the bow and arrow or the hookshot is usually just better. But it is good in some games like Wind Waker and Twilight Princess where it has, like, unique properties. In this game, I feel like it's just a worse hookshot or bow and arrow. You shoot it, you throw it at enemies, and it stuns them, and it pushes them back a little. Oh wait, no, in this game it actually does do damage, so I guess it does have something over the hookshot if you need it for combat, which could be more important in a randomizer, but in a typical game playthrough, once you get the hookshot, I don't think there's a ton of reason for the boomerang, but, you know, whatever. So we'll go ahead and open that, and now we can actually progress through the dungeon. And normally most dungeons have one item only, so that would normally be our one unique item for the dungeon. But since it's a randomizer, we could have more than one item in here. So it's still important to check everything. There we go. That is a magic jar, which fills our magic meter. So now I can actually show off. We have the lamp, which shoots fire. Really small area in front of us, used to light torches mostly. And then the magic cape turns us invisible, and we can walk around. We can go through the enemies now, but it drains magic really fast, so we don't want to rely on it too much. I'm gonna go back to the bow, shoot that guy. Also, don't let me overuse my arrows, because I need them for the final boss of this area. But I'm gonna take that guy down. And I got another chest. Compass, okay. Yeah, that's not too helpful because I already know where I'm going. This is a tile that normally you investigate it and Sarashala or Zelda will give you advice, but instead in the randomizer, I think it tells you item locations. I'll use it just to show it off, but I don't think we'll need these for the most part. A heart containers and skullwoods. Okay, so it wasn't a very important hint, which is nice because that doesn't spoil anything for me. It wasn't anything important like the silver arrows are in the ice palace or something like that. So I'm happy about that. This is a big chest which can only be opened with the big key, but we already got that, so we open it and it's just the dungeon map, and then we're ambushed by skeletons. These are Fry's minions. Come to block our progress. She doesn't want us to win the Splatfest. Fry's strongest supporters, the skeletons. This room, I think normally in this room is just a key. Yeah, just a key in a pot. That wasn't randomized. I think items in pots are always in the same location, so those don't get randomized. So that'll always be a key so that you can open this door and progress through the dungeon. But items in chests are randomized. Alright, this is the room where you normally get the boss key. And we're gonna fight this guy, take him out, take out these skeletons. The skeletons are annoying because they jump backwards, which makes them hard to hit with the sword, but you can one-shot them with an arrow. And that makes the anti-fairies explode off the pot, so we can open it, hit the switch, and get $20. Okay. That was useless. This was a waste of my time to come here, but wanted to check anyway. Better to be safe than sorry and forget that I have this chest that I need to check, and it has some, like, the silver arrows, and I need to come back here 20 hours later, and I'm like, where are the silver arrows? And it turns out I just forgot this one chest. So, better safe than sorry. And this just loops us back around to here, and we're back by this tile. We're gonna come up here and open the big key door. I could have just skipped straight to here. Again, that $20 wasn't important, but just better to be safe. Oh. We don't have to kill these guys. Actually, I'm dying, so I'm going to ignore them. There we go, heart. Very helpful. The boss of this dungeon is very easy, though, so not too bad to deal with. And we have a ton of rupees here I don't need, but I'm going to collect them anyway because I'm greedy. No, stop. That $20 will save the run. Absolutely, we'll need it for medicine with the poor way I'm playing right now. I should explain these enemies. They're anti-fairies. They will, when they bump into you, they steal your magic and do some damage. But if you have magic powder, you can sprinkle the magic powder on them and turn them into regular fairies to heal yourself, which is really helpful. Normally I have the magic powder before I enter this dungeon, but randomizer, so no magic powder, so we can't heal ourselves. Also, we have the low health beep. I'm sorry about that. Hopefully we can find a heart soon and stop the beeping. Oh, wait. I missed a chest somewhere. Where did I miss a chest? We can't progress without a key, but I thought I hit every single chest in this dungeon. Hold on. I can't believe I'm actually going to use the map. Let me look. It looks like I got all the keys in here. Wait. Yeah, I should be able to move forward. I messed up, I think. Okay, that guy had the key. Okay, I forgot. I was very nervous. I was like, did I ruin the run? I was like, there's no chests on the map, so like, where's progress? Oh, thank goodness. No more beeping. Don't get hit. I don't want the beeping back. Okay, got more arrows. Hit the switch, and now we can move through here. Take out the Igors. Another chest, or another heart. Oop. Bam! Shoot him. Shoot him dead. Hit that switch. We don't need to kill that guy, so we're just going to move on. Minimize the risk of taking damage. And welcome to the cannonball room, where we store the cannonballs. The door is locked, so we have to find the switch. It's not that one, it's this one. Got hit. Only a few bones are broken from that, but, you know, we're fine, mostly. Shoot the Skelly Bros, get $20. And now this is a red Igor, and he can only be taken out with the bow. He can't be damaged with the bow, or without the bow, so this is why the bow is required for this dungeon. You don't actually need it for the boss. You can take out the boss with the sword, but you can't kill the red Igor without the bow. So take him out, and then we can move forward. And there's 2 more. Oh, thank goodness. Hearts and arrows, which are actually helpful right now. Yeah, I'm glad we actually got all those heart containers. You don't need them if you're good at combat, but I'm not, so having those extra hearts really helps me. Come on, wake up. Shoot them. Nope. Yeah, these enemies are just annoying. But took them out, and now our first boss, the Armos Knights. They're gonna come to life and start doing that. Nope. And they just stomp around on you. They go down with 3 shots of the arrow. And you can also slash them with the sword, which takes a little longer and is a little more risky, but I'm low on arrows, so gonna actually just play it a little safer. Hit that guy. I'm gonna try and split the damage so the last one isn't too hard to kill. Last one gets angry and starts stomping really hard. But we took him out, got the dungeon prize of $20 and the first pendant, which we don't know if the pendants are necessary yet or not. There are only a few checks that are locked behind the pendants, like the Master Sword is locked behind it, but the sword can be randomized to be somewhere else, so we may not need the pendants for that. But that's our first dungeon down. We did still get the boomerang in there. Not the most helpful item, but, you know, not bad. That was our first dungeon, so easy peasy for the most part, except for the fact I forgot where a key was and thought that I broke the game. So now we can move up to the witch's hut and buy a potion. I'm a little nervous though, because we don't have the magic mirror. So I'm a little nervous. Just a tiny itsy bitsy bit nervous. And we can't... Oh wait, no, we could hit Zora's Domain actually. So all our money could be helpful actually. I forgot we can reach Zora's Domain. So the witch, we bring her a mushroom and she'll give us an item. But we don't have the mushroom yet. But we can talk to her assistant, who will heal us. And I'm gonna release the bee. Here, I'll show it off a little, actually. Yeah, I'll release the bee here. And it just flies around and attacks enemies. There you go. Murder bee. The bee friend will kill enemies for us. It's not that much damage, but it has some situational use. If you're bad at combat like me. But for the most part, people usually ignore the bee. And instead we're going to trade some money and get a red potion so that we can heal ourselves. Also, we're out of arrows, so I cannot use the bow anymore. So I guess we'll use the boomerang. Ow. There's a bomb in that bush. Lift the sign and come through and cut the grass for some more rupees, I guess. Yeah, the main use of rupees, I feel, is just buying potions. You only need it for a few items. Or it's only like mandatory for a few items. I guess I could check shops and try and find a shield. That's an option. Normally you get the shield for free, which is why I haven't like rushed to buy a shield, but it could be helpful. So we're gonna go around these boulders. If you have the Pegasus boots, you can break those boulders, but we don't have those yet, so just gonna take the long way around and come up here. We're gonna head to Zora's domain and buy the flippers, but who knows what the flippers actually are. I would have liked to have the flippers already, because if you have the flippers, you can swim into this waterfall and there's a cave that you can get some items from. But since we don't have the flippers, we're just gonna have to come through here normally. And we should be able to see an item over here. $50. Okay, so that's not worth coming back for. The item in Zora's domain is not important. Also, I'm bad at maneuvering the water. And these are Zoras who will attack us. They're shooting like fireballs and coming to chase us. In most modern Zelda games, the Zoras are like friendly and they don't attack you. But early Zelda, they're like enemies instead. So we gotta come down here, come through here, and it's a little maze that we have to maneuver the shallow water. Nope, that's incorrect. Wrong path. Mostly we just, we have to maneuver the shallow water while dodging fireballs and find our way to King Zora to buy the flippers. It's not a very complex maze, but here we go. And we can trade 500 rupees for the item. Get ready to watch that money go down. Let's see, that is the blue cane, which is not required to beat the game. It's helpful, but it's not required. So, let me think. There's no other items we can get there. So, I guess we're gonna head to the sanctuary, and I think we're about out of item checks without the magic mirror, which is a little nerve-wracking. I know there are ways to get around things without the magic mirror, but I would have preferred not to, because I'm not used, like, I'm not a speedrunner, so I'm not used to skipping the mirror, so it makes me a little nervous. If we had the Pegasus boots, we could move these rocks and find a cave, but we cannot currently. Oh, I should have talked to the priest and healed up. That's fine. I probably won't die. Probably. So these are the twin lumberjacks who are sawing the tree. We can't reach the tree yet, but that eventually unlocks an item. Do you have hearts in here? Thanks. I'm gonna steal their hearts because I'm just so adorable. And we're gonna come in this cave real quick and check. This tells us what item the lumberjacks will give us when they're done sawing the tree. Normally it's a heart piece. Instead it is 3 bombs. Okay, so the lumberjacks aren't important. We don't have to defeat Aghanim to unlock what they're holding. So we can mostly ignore Aghanim, I think. That's not required, I think. Aghanim is the evil wizard from the intro, by the way. So instead we're going to lift this boulder and head up the mountain. Oh, little crab friend. Normally he drops rupees, but now he's dropping magic jars, which is really funny and much more useful. Alright, Death Mountain. This place is dark and kind of confusing on your first trip through. I more or less remember the path, though, so we should be fine. And I don't think there's any items in here. So we meet the old man who will follow us. He wants us to help him get home. They just removed the dialogue box because he talks a lot. So he talks almost as much as me. So we just have to guide him home. And I think it's this way. Yeah, maneuvering there without the lamp is possible, but it is annoying. It's not too bad if you can see where you're going, though. And we come here, this is his home. He gives us the shovel. Okay. That tells me the shovel might give us the magic mirror. So we're gonna have to go through the Death Mountain again, but I would prefer to check the shovel location and see if that is the magic mirror. I really don't want to do this without the magic mirror. Oh, and it does let us start at the mountain cave, so we don't have to go through Death Mountain again. We can just save and quit and pop back there. Oh, also, I did schedule this stream to be a little earlier so that we'd have more time to play. I wanted to make this a bit of a longer stream, so in about an hour, we'll probably take a quick break, and then we'll play again a little bit longer after that, just as a heads up. I was super excited for this, so I was like, I'm going to schedule this a little earlier so we have more time. I was excited for all the games I picked for this first week, but this was something I was super duper excited for because I wanted to play Zelda Randomizer for literally like 6 or 7 years. That's fine with you? Okay, good. Yeah, I thought it would be a little easier if I scheduled it just a little bit earlier. So here we are. Normally the Ocarina boy would ask us to come and dig up the Ocarina for him, and he would give us the shovel, but instead we got the shovel from the old man, so we're gonna dig up here, and that's bad. The Ocarina turned into bombs. We didn't need bombs, we needed a magic mirror. Ooh, that's spooky. I guess we're going through here without the mirror. But we do have the Moon's Pearl, so maybe we won't get lost. There's not a whole lot we can do up here, though. I might have to use the magic mirror entrance, or I might have to enter from a different location than the dungeon cave, but we'll check here first. I'm pretty sure I can't get through here without the mirror. Unless you use like crazy speedrun tech that I don't know, so yeah, we're probably stuck here. Because normally you'd come up here and you'd be able to reach Dungeon 3 with the mirror, because the old man gives you the mirror. Instead, let's take a look. That heart piece turned into $20. We can drop down to this cave and check this. No. That's not right. That is a different entrance than what I was thinking of. It's the next cave. Actually, you know what? I should just check what the item is before we jump down and check. Because we could just save time if the item is bad. Let's check here. Check this cave. This will tell us what the item is. Normally, I think it's a heart piece, and now it is $20. Okay, we don't need to do that then. We can just skip these caves here. And instead, we're going to come over here. So this is a portal to the Dark World. This map here, look how big this map is. And we've covered a lot of ground. We've covered... Let me see, how do I... Yeah. We've covered all this area here. We covered the Lost Woods, the village, the Hyrule Castle, our house, the area here by the lake. We went around the lake and hit up this cave here where the ice rod normally is. We came up here, got the bow, went into the first dungeon. We covered the witch's house and went up to Zora's domain over here in the corner where the flippers normally are. Over here is the graveyard and the sanctuary. And down here's the desert. So even though the map looks like really big, we've pretty much walked all over the map. We've covered a lot of ground really quickly. But if we come in here... There's a whole second map. This is the Dark World, where most of the game's dungeons are. And back when I was a kid, this like blew my mind. This was like insane. I was like, oh, there's a whole second map. So it looks like, actually, I think the red crystals are required. I think I mentioned that earlier. But it looks like there's only 2 red crystals that are required. So this could be a really fast seed. We might actually beat this game really quickly. We only need 2 crystals, I think, to beat the game. But we also need the silver arrows to beat the game. And the silver arrows could be anywhere. So even though we don't have to beat the dungeons to beat the game, we might still need to do them anyways to get the silver arrows. But so now we're in the Dark World equivalent of Death Mountain, the Dark Mountain. And we have the Moon's Pearl, so we didn't turn into a bunny. Hi Zal, GG. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a good day. Ganon gives a hint for the silver arrows. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I know there are hints, but I wasn't sure if he gives one or not. Get him to phase 4. Okay. Yeah, I'm not... This is our first run through a Link to the Past randomizer. I've watched them before, though, so I know vaguely how it goes. But that is still helpful, so thank you. Also, I did not mean to talk to this guy. But the problem is we can't progress without the magic mirror. We can't get up here. Also, I'm explaining things to Morph in chat, who has not played a Zelda game before, so I'm explaining a lot of things to him as well. So, sorry if I'm like rambling a lot about like basic game mechanics, but he's not familiar, so I just want to keep him updated on what's actually happening and what I'm doing, so that he's not confused. We can't come through here without the hammer, so no luck on that. Yeah, I don't think we can progress through here without the mirror. I can't remember if the randomizer made it so if you save and quit in the Dark World, it sets you back in the Dark World. No, it sets us back to the Light World. So we can't progress through there, I don't think. Let me think. Where else can we check? I feel like we checked most of the Light World locations already. There's probably just like one thing that I'm missing that's like really obvious. The only thing I can think of is there might be something inside Hyrule Castle's dungeon that I missed because we didn't go through there all the way. Let's check there. I think we can also come up here and confirm the crystal settings. Yeah, we had a very lucky seed. We've done one dungeon so far, and we have all these items. We got like super lucky on this one, so not having too many issues except for the fact I don't have the magic mirror. I'm a little concerned about that, but for the most part, we've had pretty smooth sailing so far. Oh no, I think that might be a different thing. Maybe that's only in race mode. I think in like race mode, you can like find a sign here that tells you like what items or how many dungeons you need to clear. But I guess it's not here right now. You think you know where I could go? Let me check what I'm thinking first, and if not, then you can drop your idea. I want to just see if maybe this works. Like, I know that you could use like some speedrun tech or something to skip some parts, but I don't really know how to do those. So I did check glitchless, so we shouldn't need glitches to beat the game, but I might need them just because I'm a little confused on where I can check. Alright, nothing here in the first room. I'm trying to remember. I feel like there was a chest in Hyrule Castle sewers, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just mixing that up. There's a chest. That's not helpful. I was really hopeful. I found that chest and I was like, magic mirror? I think that was the last chest in here. We already got the one that you bomb the hole, and you get those items. Yeah, randomizer can be brutal. I've seen. I watched a run where there's like one block in, or there's one chest in the Swamp Palace, or no, not the Swamp Palace. The like the temple where you drain the water. And I saw someone get stuck because they had to push one block to make a chest appear, and it had like the bow or something in it, and it was like really brutal. I was like, wow. Or maybe not the bow, it was like the silver arrows or something. And that one chest that they missed like ruined the run, and they had to like check the spoiler log or something for it. Yeah, I'm gonna assume that we can't find the item in there. I don't think there's anything in there. Yeah, so what was your idea? Go ahead and drop it. And, I might have already checked it, I'm not sure. I did check a lot of locations already, so it might have been something that I already checked, but... yes, I do have the glove. Can we enter Thieves Town with the glove? I know you can use the hammer to reach it, but now that you're mentioning the glove, I might be able to reach Thieves Town with it. There's the graveyard. Yeah, we did the graveyard. Let me check. I think you can maybe reach Thieves Town from above with the glove. Oh no, you do need the hammer for that. Never mind. Mixing it up. East side of the mountain. No. That is a good idea. Let me check that. I don't normally go that way, but... Oh yeah, I do have the hookshot too, so... Yeah, let's check the mountain cave. That is a good idea, thank you. You might have just saved us like an hour of running around looking for things. Yeah, I don't normally approach it from this way. I always come from above, so I didn't really think about that. Okay. Also, I was explaining, I'm probably gonna make you cringe with how much damage I take. I play very recklessly. I've never been good at the combat in this game. I was always more about the puzzles and the adventure itself. So I like suck at the combat, so I take a ton more damage than most people do. Let me see, this wasn't it, right? No, of course not, yeah. That needs the other glove. Let me think. This is the wacky cave that you drop down from here, which logically makes no sense, but it drops you below. And we can check all these items. I've seen people miss this cave, and it also just took them like 2 hours of exploring for this. I remembered this cave, but I thought I couldn't reach it without the mirror. 4 bottles and face tank. Yeah, fairies are my beloved in this game. They're so good. Fairies and blue potions. So nothing from those, unfortunately. Just a lot of money. We probably will need that money just for potions and stuff, though. Alright. No, leave me alone. Leave me. Go away. Oop. A little late on that. Let's do the boomerang. Actually, that's in kind of a tricky spot. Alright, yeah, I do think I do need bombs for this. Wait, can I throw it over this? Am I overthinking it? Yeah. I don't know why. I was thinking that this wall would block the bombs. I just was, like, way overthinking it. Yes, Uncle's allowance has as much value as something that I can pull from a random pot. Alright, bombs. Heart piece. So, not super helpful yet. Rupee. Heart. And a, was that the sword upgrade? Yes, that is the level 2 sword. Oop. Stuck myself in a block. So we just got the Master Sword from a random chest in Death Mountain, as the sages foretold. The Sacred Blade of Evil's Blane. Evil's Blane? Evil's Bane. And that is helpful. That is definitely helpful, but it does not solve our current requirement of finding the mirror to progress, which is a little nervous. But there's still a lot of chests on this side of the mountain that we can get. That is just a shop. That is not helpful. Okay. Let me think. Why the mirror specifically? I'm focused on the mirror because it's just hard to... Well, the mirror is because my main goal, or my main idea, was to head to Dungeon 3, because that was the main area that I could think of that we could do, because we have everything else for Dungeon 3. But technically the hammer would also let us progress, because then we could open Dark World entrances. But I'd prefer the mirror just because I get nervous when, the idea of getting, stuck in the Dark World just makes me a little more nervous than the hammer. But we do know now that I can't escape the Dark World, so I guess I shouldn't be too nervous about that. But I was just very nervous about being stuck in the Dark World was the main thing. So, yeah, hammer would also let us progress. There may be some other item that would give us progress that I'm not thinking of. Titan's Mitt would probably do it. I don't think the flute would help us right now. But yeah, hammer, flute, Titan's Mitt, those would all help as well.